Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a highly requested recipe for this holiday season. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my quick and simple recipe for this light fruitcake, so I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into it. We are going to start off in my stand mixer with 2 sticks of butter, and I'm going to go ahead and start to cream the butter by itself just so it can soften up a little more. Whenever you're making any type of cake or baked goods, you want to start with ingredients that are room temperature, but one of my little tips is to go ahead and cream that butter by itself so this way it can start to get a little bit fluffy. Now after about 30 seconds of creaming the butter on a medium speed and you see that it gets nice and fluffy, you're going to go in with your sugar. Now you could use white sugar, regular brown sugar, or you can use Demarara cane sugar like I'm using here. This is my favorite type of sugar to use for my sponge cake or my fruit cakes. So I'm going to go in with that and I'm going to mix this on a medium speed again for about 5 to 6 minutes or until it gets very fluffy and until the entire mixture lightens in color. After about 5 to 6 minutes, you're going to see that that butter and sugar mixture gets very light and very fluffy. At this point, you're going to go in with your vanilla extract, or you can use mixed essence just depending on your own preference and taste. And at this point, we're also going to start to stream in our eggs. Now I'm using 6 eggs today, but I've already beat my eggs really well until they were well combined into a bowl, and then I put them in my measuring cup as you see here, so this way I can stream it into this mixture very carefully. All you want to do is stream in the egg a little bit at a time so this way it can properly combine with the butter, the sugar, and the vanilla extract. And you want to make sure that every time you add in a little bit of that egg into the butter and the sugar mixture, you allow it to mix in very evenly and mix in well, so this way the entire mixture can be nice and smooth in the end. And once your eggs are mixed really well with the butter and sugar mixture, you're going to go in with your soaked and ground fruits. Now I'm using the mixture that I did with the cranberries, the cherries, and the raisins. I shared that on my channel about a couple of days ago, and I'll have it linked right up here in the right hand corner if you want something different. But if you wanted the regular traditional soaked ground fruits, I also have that recipe on my channel that I did a few weeks ago, and I'll link it right up here in the right hand corner. Now while the fruits are mixing with all of the rest of the wet ingredients, I'm going to start on my dried ingredients. So in a bowl, I have my all-purpose flour. I'm going in with some baking powder and a little pinch of salt just to round out the sweetness. And once you go in with that pinch of salt, you're going to mix in some freshly ground nutmeg. And that's it. All you're going to do is mix this together, set it aside, and get it ready to mix into the wet ingredients. And once your soaked and ground fruits are mixed really well with the butter, the sugar, and the eggs, you're going to go in with your dried ingredients. Now I'm only adding in half of the dried ingredients to begin with, and the reason why I do this is because I find that it mixes much more evenly when you do it in a half batch. So you mix in half of the dried ingredients first, and then after we add in some more liquid, we'll go in with the rest of the dried ingredients. And as I mentioned before I go in with the second batch of the dried ingredients, I'm going to mix in some more liquid. So what I'm using here is some Jamaican spice rum. This Jamaican spice rum is the same spice rum that I used to soak and grind my fruits with the day that I did that. So I'm just going in with a little bit just to give the cake some more moisture and to give it some more flavor. Now once I add that in and it's mixed in well, I'm just going to scrape down the sides. And after I scrape down the sides, I'm going to go in with my second batch of dried ingredients and mix that in well. And as soon as you go in with your second batch of dried ingredients and everything mixes just for about 30 seconds and you see no more dried flour, that's your indication to stop mixing. You do not want to overmix your batter, because if you do, then the batter is going to be very tough and it's going to make a cake that's dry, dense, and just all wrong. So if you want a very tender and soft cake, then you want to make sure not to overmix this batter. So I finished mixing my batter. Now what I'm going to do is pour it into a circular pan that's about 9 inches across. I went ahead and I greased it really well with some butter and some flour. And I wanted to let you guys know I'm using a springform pan today, one that comes apart when it's done baking. If you wanted to use a regular circular pan or any other type of shape of a pan, feel free to do so as well. But this was my preferred choice of pan today. So once I went in with my batter, I smoothed out the top really well, and at this point it is ready to go into my oven that I have preheated to 350 degrees. So right here is a very big tip that my grandmother gave to me. Whenever you make any type of cake in the oven, it's always best to put a little tray or a little oven-proof bowl in the bottom of the oven and fill it up with some boiling hot water. The reason why you do that and you keep it under the cake as it bakes is to keep the cake moist and create steam in the oven. This will ensure that your cake does not dry out. So I'm going to leave this cake in the oven at 350 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes, or until when a toothpick is inserted, the toothpick comes out clean and the cake is golden brown all over. Now after my cake had a chance to cool for a couple of minutes, I took it out of the pan and I put it onto my cake pedestal, and I'm going to go ahead and cut into it for you guys. You want to make sure that the cake is about lukewarm when you cut into it. You want to make sure it is not too hot, because if it is, your cake can fall, and also what will happen is your cake can actually start to fall apart as well, and you do not want that. So as you guys can see, I'm cutting into it. It's very easy to cut into, and when I unveil this piece of cake, it is super moist on the inside. It is nice and fluffy. It is only a little bit dense because of the fruits that we added in. Remember, this is not a full-on fruit cake or a black cake. That would be a little bit more dense than this is. This is for all of the people out there who do not like a whole bunch of fruits packed into their one cake. But as you guys can see, this was very quick, very simple to put together, and I truly hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the video today, please don't forget to give it a nice big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed yet, and leave your beautiful comments down below as usual. And I hope you guys make this for the holiday season. And I'll be seeing you guys again very soon with another one of my awesome recipes. Bye everyone.